There's been a massive leak at Call of Duty. We already know what the next 3 years of Call of Duty titles are going to be. Starting off with 2023, we're going to get Modern Warfare 3. It was originally started as a Modern Warfare 2 expansion, however, the game is so massive that it has to be a 2023 release of a full game itself. The game will have the exact same mechanics, exact same playstyle, and almost be a continuation of Modern Warfare 2 as we have it now. You'll still have that $60 price tag when the game releases, but we know a lot of stuff is happening in the Modern Warfare 3 story. We already know a lot of what's happening in the Modern Warfare 3 story, starting off with the main villain. The main villain in Modern Warfare 3 is going to be Makarov. As it turns out, and we find out through different intel and different pieces of information after Modern Warfare 2's campaign, Makarov has been secretly funding Al-Qatala and a bunch of the other events that happened in Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 1 from behind the scenes. He's got a grand overarching villain that we haven't seen yet, and we were just introduced to in Modern Warfare 2. And he's going to make his big debut appearance in Modern Warfare 3. However, the new Makarov is not the same as the original Makarov. The original Makarov wasn't afraid to get his hands dirty. He was the one who committed the No Russian war crime. He was the one who did a ton of other things hands-on, as well as kidnapping the president's daughter in Modern Warfare 3. However, in the new Makarov, he's a little bit more behind the scenes. He's a little bit more clever. He was the one who helped organize the Los Alamos cartel and the Al-Qatala forces together to help them smuggle Hassan Zyani and the missiles across the US border. On top of that, he was the one who's directly responsible for stealing the missiles in Modern Warfare 2. It was his private military company who stole the missiles and then gave them to Hassan. Hassan then worked with the cartel to smuggle them across the border and use them against American people, or attempt to. The new Makarov's a little bit more of a planner, and he's going to be the main villain of Modern Warfare 3. However, Makarov's entire genuine plan for all the Modern Warfare games, including the new one, is to start a direct conflict between Russia and the United States. He thinks Russia will win in a war between the United States and Russia. However, not only does he want to start a conflict with the United States, he wants to be the supreme ruler of Russia. He wants to return to a czar-style ruling where he is the one person in charge. As we know from Modern Warfare 1 and 2, he now has General Barkov's throne, where he controls everything that the Russians do in the Middle East. And on top of that, he is the biggest weapon supplier of anything that's happening in the world because of the death of Imran and Viktor Zakhaev. So now, not only does he have the position of power in Russian government, he has the position of power in the black market, and he is an unstoppable force who is going to start a world war. And that's where I believe the story of Modern Warfare 3 is going to go. And one thing that we might see is a complete redo of the mission All Gilead Up in Modern Warfare 3 to help explain Makarov's backstory and why he's so close to the Zakhaev family. It would be really interesting to see this mission redone and rebooted, not necessarily just remastered, but we really don't know what's going to happen yet. We still have new information coming out about Modern Warfare 3 all the time, and I'm trying to keep you up to date with it, so make sure you subscribe down below for that. But moving on, Call of Duty 2024 is going to be a brand new Black Ops game. It's going to be a Black Ops game set in the early 1990s in the first Gulf War. And this is a game that we actually have a lot of information on. Surprising amount, actually. In 2021, we had a huge leak about what Call of Duty 2024 was going to be, because some of the game assets were actually hidden inside the files for Black Ops Cold War. We know what the weapons are going to be, we know what the kill streaks are going to be, and we already know some of the maps. However, we don't know who the main characters are, we don't know the exact plot. However, considering that the game is set in the Gulf War, the Black Ops we're likely to see is going to be a specialized unit that's a task force between the Air Force and the Army. In the first Gulf War, the Air Force kind of led the way. They bombed all the major infrastructure points and destroyed all the electricity in the area. And the US Air Force used white phosphorus against tanks in the first Gulf War, meaning we'll probably get that as a kill streak again in the new Black Ops game. However, in the first Gulf War, there had to be people on the ground manually targeting all these infrastructure points as well as clearing out a lot of the work. The Air Force kind of led the way with this, and then the Army joined in and helped out. And along with that, it would make sense that Call of Duty makes the main characters of Black Ops game a specialized task force between multiple branches. After all, this game will be set after Alex Mason dies and after Woods gets kneecapped, so these two characters will not be in the game. And it makes sense for this game to be kind of continuation of what happened in Black Ops Cold War, and help kind of expand the story of Perseus and this mythical villain they're creating. And the only person who would make sense to kind of fill that role in the 1990s would be Imran Zakhaev before he lost his arm and while he was still kind of in charge of what was happening with the Russian Black Ops market. And it would kind of make sense for Imran Zakhaev to be tied in as the main igniting factor in the first Gulf War. The game itself will be set in the 90s, however, it's rumored to already expand into some of the mid-90s, so that would be very interesting to see. As far as the weapons for this game go, we know it's going to be the M4 and a ton of other weapons that were used by Army and Marines in the first Gulf War, along with some of the kill streaks being a precision airstrike with an A-10 Warthog, white phosphorus, cruise missiles, and a ton of other things that were actually used in the first Gulf War that we've seen in previous Call of Duty titles. It would make sense to bring all this stuff back, considering it's a game set in the 90s. But one of the more interesting things is that new Modern Warfare games are directly tied to the Black Ops games, with some of the villains being seen in both games, and there being a big overarching kind of multiverse with these two game series. However, we don't know that much about the game itself's story because not that much is leaked yet. The game is still 2 years out from release. And moving forward to 2025, in 2021 we got the big Black Ops leak about the game coming out in 2024, we also found out what was happening in 2025. There is a new Call of Duty Modern Warfare game in development right now to be released in 2025, meaning the new Modern Warfare game is going to have at least 4 games in the series, if not 5. Black Ops has already gone on to Black Ops 4 and 5, so it makes sense for Modern Warfare to do the same as well. However, with this game, we already kind of know what might be happening. If this game is to follow the kind of events that we've seen so far from the original Modern Warfare trilogy and the new trilogy, Modern Warfare 4 will be centered around a world conflict between Russia and the United States. Along with this, it's going to be a massive world conflict, so Al-Qatala and the Los Alamos cartel will both be involved in this world conflict, and it will be on a grand scale. It'll probably be another invasion of Europe and America by the Russian military. But we already know that Al-Qatala and the Los Alamos cartel are going to be a big part of the Modern Warfare series moving forward as well. So it could be a multifaceted war that we see on multiple different fronts. We have a war with Al-Qatala, we have a war with the Los Alamos cartel on the border, and we have a war with Russia invading the United States and Europe. This is all very much in the realm of possibility. After all, we did see Russia invade in the original Modern Warfare 2 and 3, and the game is following a lot of the same storylines that the original did, but not exactly. With the release of Modern Warfare 3 this year, we can assume that the game is going to leave off on a big cliffhanger. Considering Modern Warfare 4 is already in development, the game is not going to wrap up the story nice and neat at the end of Modern Warfare 3. I perceive Modern Warfare 3 starting the World War, Modern Warfare 4 taking place during the World War, and possibly at the end wrapping up Makarov and finishing the story completely. However, there is a possibility that they are already extended into a Modern Warfare 5 later down the line. However, there's still a lot of loose ends that need to be wrapped up in Modern Warfare 3 and 4. In Modern Warfare 1, Hadir gets arrested and is taken to a Russian prison, and we learn that Imran and Viktor Zakhaev had an interest in his activities when he was working in the Middle East, considering he was not afraid to do war crimes and commit the same thing that the Russians were doing on their own country. Along with him being betrayed, it kind of makes sense that he'd try to start a world conflict and join the Al-Qatala forces. After all, it's pretty much guaranteed at this point that he is Khalid al-Assad. And on top of that, at the end of Modern Warfare 2, El Sanambre is taken to jail, and she tells us that she will escape, which means she's probably going to try to get out within the next couple of days or weeks, meaning her storyline is not completely finished either. And neither is Alejandro's, because if El Sanambre exists, Alejandro has to exist. And the other big reveal that hasn't been resolved yet is Makarov. Makarov was just introduced at the end of Modern Warfare 2, and we can assume that his appearance will not be just limited to Modern Warfare 3, considering he was just now introduced, and we already know there's a Modern Warfare 4 in the works. There's a lot of loose ends in the Modern Warfare series, and there's going to be a brand new Black Ops game with brand new characters we're unfamiliar with. There is a lot coming down the pipe in the next couple years for Call of Duty titles. But with all of these new Call of Duty games releasing in the next couple years, I want you to tell me down below, what are some of your biggest theories about these upcoming games? How do you think Makarov is going to play into the Modern Warfare series, especially now that we know there's going to be 2 games in the series? On top of that, what do you think the storyline is going to be for Black Ops Gulf War? There's a huge range of possibilities for the storyline, and I've just kind of gone with the most logical one, but I want you to tell me down below what you think. And until next time, I am IceBurgz, your Call of Duty informant. Stay frosty.